I think at the beginning, everyone needs to understand that it's gonna take time. And,
Mhm.
I always make sure before I take anyone on, like, I have that talk with them, like, lots of women, like you said, are fixating on the scale. Like, scale is first thing. I don't even weigh myself. I don't weigh my clients because I couldn't care less what the number on scale says because
Mhm.
number, it doesn't give me any breakdown of how much muscle I've got, how much fat, how much water. It's gonna be going up and down.
Welcome to Q's Health and Wellness Podcast, your source for living a healthier lifestyle and developing a better mind, body, and soul. Through guidance, tips, and stories of highly successful fitness gurus, athletes, and individuals who are passionate about enhancing all aspects of life, we provide you with the tools to help you take your lifestyle to another level. And now your host, Quinn Mitchell.
Welcome to Q's Health and Wellness Podcast. This is your host, Quinn Mitchell, and today I have a very special guest. Hen is an online fitness coach and a personal trainer. How are you doing today?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great myself. Would you mind telling us a little introduction about yourself?
Okay. And I'm a personal trainer and online trainer mainly for women, specialized in women and female training. Um, I've been training women for about 5 years now. I'm also a bikini fitness athlete on the side, so I literally breathe and live fitness and health. So
Mm,
yeah.
that's awesome. So what really inspired you to become a fitness trainer?
I think it was I used to be just an average person going to the gym. I just signed
Mm,
up randomly once to the gym and started training. And when I saw how my body is changing and how I started feeling and everything basically changed for the better in my life, I was like, okay, I want to do this for people. I want more women to feel this way, and the
mm.
confidence everything it gave me. So that was the main thing. I was like, okay, I have to go and do it, and just done my qualifications and just went with it.
That's awesome. So what do you think is like some of the biggest obstacles that you see with some of your clients that you have?
I think the biggest obstacle always is not knowing what to do and how to do it, especially when women are beginners in the gym. It can be quite intimidating for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest one. Yeah, like I started on a like a cardio machine as well. I used to be a cardio bunny. That was all I could do, just running on the treadmill, and it was very intimidating for me to even step into the weight room, amongst men and everything. But I started training with a personal trainer, my current partner now, who helped me basically to overcome that fear of stepping there. So I think anyone who's a beginner, I would always suggest to either start training with someone, either invest into a coach or a personal trainer, or start training with someone who already sort of knows what they're doing. So
Mm.
that can certainly help to build that confidence initially, and then you can just.
Nah, that's definitely understandable because I know for myself, just having a few clients, especially females, they when they first start out, they're very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Like when they go in the gym, when they were guys, it's like that's why some gyms don't have an all women's area, so it's like they don't know what to do because they don't want to mess up a workout or they don't want to be embarrassed. So I think that's one of the first obstacles I think. Personally, just being a trainer myself, working with women is like showing them how to do it and then making sure the confidence level is there, especially when it comes to working out.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, man. So, so another question I have for you is, so I know you talk a lot about nutrition. So
Yeah.
when it comes to nutrition, what do you think is one of the biggest, not obstacles, but biggest things that people overlook when it comes to nutrition, especially women, that want to lose weight? What would you advise to them that when they first start out, if they don't know where to start?
My first advice would be don't eat salads. Yeah, that's what I get like almost on a daily basis. Like, especially for us women, it's like I want to lose weight. I have to start eating salads. That's the first thing. Like, and that's not the right thing to do, basically. So I find that lots of women still don't have that right education or the right knowledge, I would say, about nutrition and how they should be actually eating to, to get the results they want. So yeah, it's more about, I always suggest, just focus on that protein intake and build your meals from there. Like that's the most important thing. Like the salad is never gonna, it's never gonna help you to tone up and lose weight. Like a rabbit, as I always say, it's not gonna get you anywhere. Like lots of talking about toning up, and they wanna have the nice looking body. So it's very hard for me to always like get them to know that it's not gonna happen through salad. Like they need the real food, they need the nutritional food to, to achieve that. So yeah, don't eat salads is my number one advice.
But that's also great for telling us that, because I also know that because you work with women, a lot of women, they think that all the diet pills and waist trainer belts will work for them. But you being a woman yourself, could you just tell your input on that and what really works?
The thing is, lots of women are, not only women, but I think people in general, they're just looking for quick fixes. So, you can jump on any strict diet and lose weight very quickly, but what's going to happen after? You're just going to put everything back on. So you just basically get yourself into a circle of yo-yo dieting, which you don't want to do, because what's the point? You just, if you're following diet that's not sustainable, it just makes you miserable for, let's say, a few months, and then for what? Not even get those results. So every meal is basically based on protein. So when I personally eat, it's just like I have like 4 or 5 meals a day. Depends. It doesn't need to, but whatever I eat is just, I just make sure that it starts with that first thought, like, okay, what kind of protein am I going to have? And then I just build my meal from there. So I always add some carbs to the, we shouldn't be scared of carbs. That's the main thing. Like a lot of women are like, oh no, carbs are gonna make me fat. No, that's number one, number one fitness myth. So yeah, always start with that, like protein, high protein diet, like either meat or fish and stuff like that, and then just build a meal around it. That's what I would advise. That's what's gonna basically get you results, and it keeps us full, it keeps us going, it gives us energy, and it helps us build the body. So yeah.
Awesome. And also, I wanted to ask you too, because I know a lot of women that when it comes to the gym period, they think that when they start lifting weights, they're going to start becoming more manly, or it's like it's a myth that they don't understand. So, with you being a knowledgeable finisher, could you just tell us your input on that as well?
The thing is, when I get to speak to women, they always say, "I want to tone up." And they don't realize that toning up actually means having a muscle. That's what tone up is. So you want those muscles, and for a woman, it's basically impossible to look like men, because it's our hormones. We don't have that much testosterone as men. So it's basically, unless a woman will be taking some kind of, let's say steroids or something, you're never gonna look like a man. It's impossible. Like that's the biggest fear. But women need to realize that that's what actually builds the body. So if you want to turn up and if you want to build that body, you have to start lifting weights and lifting heavy, because all these pink dumbbells, 2 kg pink dumbbells are not gonna do a lot. Lots of women are like, I want to turn up, I need nice and little pink dumbbells to do it. No, it doesn't work that way. But yeah, that's the usual fear. I get that with clients all the time as well. So it just takes that, the initial consultation to let them know how the body actually works. Like it's impossible to grow muscles like a man.
Yes, man. But I'm glad that you said it though, because like I said, a lot of women, they don't know. And that's like one of their biggest fears of getting into the gym, because they read things online. You're gonna start looking like a man if you start lifting weights. So I'm glad that you really gave knowledgeable information when it comes to that, because that answers a lot of their questions.
When women start lifting weights, they don't realize that they're actually gonna burn the fat in more efficient way than if they just did cardio, like
Mm-hmm.
that's what helps you like train, smarter. It's about training smarter, and if the goal is weight loss and fat loss and toning up, that's what you have to do. Like the cardio is never gonna shape your body. So
See, I'm glad you brought that up because I was just about to ask you that next. When it comes to the cardio, because I'm sure you go to the gym, you see a lot of women, they kill themselves on the treadmill. They thinking they're gonna lose weight and get this nice body, but like you said, the cardio is not it.
I personally don't even touch cardio.
Wow.
Like I don't do cardio. If
Wow.
if I'm in competition prep, then maybe a little bit, but I'd rather do, I like to call it the resistance cardio. So I basically use weights in like a circuit setup. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like cardio and weights at the same time. That's the most effective way. Like, but you will never see me running on a treadmill or on a cross race. I just find it boring as well, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just not gonna shape my body. So I don't really have.
Yeah, that's very interesting because, like I said, a lot of women that's what they think when it comes to losing weight. They want this hourglass figure. They think, okay, let me go on the treadmill for 45, 50 minutes, and it's
Yeah,
like, and a lot of times that discourages them from going to the gym because then they don't see the results. Like or they may lose 3 pounds, but then they gain it back next week. So they don't they don't really understand like how that really
absolutely,
works on them. But that's awesome that you say you don't even
absolutely.
do cardio, and for you to have the body that you have, it's like it really it's like a testament to show that there's other ways of carving out your body without killing yourself or trying to hurt yourself on the treadmill.
Yes, don't waste your time on treadmills, everyone.
Hmm.
There
That's
are more interesting ways how to burn fat rather than running on a treadmill or doing cardio.
yes.
Eventually, it
So,
comes down to nutrition anyway. When it comes
mhm.
to fat loss, nutrition is the number one thing anyway.
So when it comes to the nutrition part, when it comes to workout foods that I type to say, because a lot of my clients they ask me what foods they should eat before and after the gym. So what are some things that you suggest that's good for them that they can consume before and also after?
You mean in regards to food?
Yes, yep, like foods that they can eat.
Yeah. So before workout, I would always have some sort of carbs because that basically what gives us energy.
Mm-hmm.
I would I would avoid, because lots of people are trying to have something sugary before because it gives them that sugar rush.
That
But
boost.
the thing is, with sugar rush, it lasts only certain amount of time, so you can get that crash in the middle of your workout, which you don't want, because you want to have
Mm-hmm.
that throughout the whole workout. So I would have, like, I personally like to have oats before I go to the gym. It's a slow digesting carb, so it basically really slow releasing slow releasing energy. So that basically keeps me going through the whole workout. And post workout, I always make sure that I have some some kind of protein with carbs again. So
Gotcha.
I like to schedule my carbs pre and post workout. That's the main. That's where I have them the most.
Mm-hmm. No, I know a lot of people, they often think that carbs aren't good for them. Or like you read it online, they think, oh, carbs aren't good. They should stay away from carbs.
I don't
How
know
do you feel about
if the
that?
way it is, like who started all this? Like carbs are making you fat and stuff like that. It's just, yeah, that's just,
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
So also when it comes to that as well, how do you balance out like training and your personal life as well? Because I know a lot of people have trouble with that, and they don't want to get up. Say they have a job, but they don't want to actually get up 7 in the morning to go work out and then go to work. So how do you personally balance that out?
Well, for me personally, fitness is basically my life. So for me, it's quite easy to balance it
Mm-hmm.
because obviously, I train clients. It's my full-time job. I've got online clients as well, and then I just schedule my training around it. So for me, it's quite easy. But I've got lots of clients, obviously, who got like 9 to 5, either office jobs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think people need to realize also that they don't necessarily need to be training every day to get the results. That's another thing. So you don't necessarily need to go and kill yourself every day in the gym to get the results you want, especially when it comes to weight loss and fat loss. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe like 3 times, 4 times a week, I've got clients who train just like that, 3, 4 times a week. And I would just try to just to make sure that it gets done, I would just try to somehow implement it into my life. Like if it means scheduling that workout in my, diary, then they have to do it. Like it's all about giving it that little time. It takes 1 hour of your day, you know what I mean? So you don't want to do it in the morning before work, other than because I hate when in the morning early like that. But you just try to find whatever works for you. If you don't want to do it in the morning, then maybe even after work or even from home, you know what I mean? Like like today you've got lots of lots of flexibility, so you can just do workouts from the comfort of your own home after you come home from work, or just quick one in the gym after or during your lunch break. So it's just about, I think it's just about giving it a little priority, and just at the beginning of the week, just schedule those workouts in like you would schedule any other meeting. That's what I always say to my clients. And like that, it just gets done, because sometimes I know it for myself as well. We're not motivated. Yeah, people like to say, I'm not motivated to go to the gym. The thing is, you cannot rely on motivation to go to the gym, because you're never gonna get results like that. Like I would never get results if I only train on the days when I'm motivated. Like I said, fitness is my life and I love it. But I train at the moment 6 times a week. But if we're talking about motivation, I'm motivated to train maybe twice, 3 times if the other day. It's just a discipline. For me, it's just a discipline, like you want results, then you just go, you do it, you get it done, tick that box off, that's it, So yeah, not to rely on motivation is another big thing.
So, but let's say, even if, say you have a client that they need that one motivating factor to get them into the gym. Is it something that you implement in their program that keeps them not motivated but wanting to keep going back to the gym? Because I know a lot of times girls, women especially, they often, especially when it comes to losing weight, I've seen that they often look at the scale, and when they see the scale, it's like they don't see any progress. So that demotivates them, and that discourages them from wanting to keep going back. So it's something that you encourage your clients, or at least not to look at.
The thing is, I always say, if you're consistent enough at the beginning and you start seeing results, that's gonna keep you motivated to go to the gym and get it more. Yeah, it's quite tough to get to that point, and lots of people, like you said, basically fall off because they don't see it quickly enough, and they just stop training, and they're never gonna reach that point that it becomes a discipline for them, and and they're motivated. So getting results is definitely a motivation, but I think everyone needs to, at the beginning, everyone needs to understand that it's gonna take time. And I always make sure before I take anyone on, like I have that talk with them. Like lots of women, like you said, are fixating on that scale. Like scale is first thing. I don't even weigh myself. I don't weigh my clients, because I couldn't care less what the number on scale says, because number, it doesn't give me any breakdown of how much muscle I've got, how much fat, how much water. It's gonna be going up and down. So I actually forbid my clients to weigh themselves. Yeah, that's my number one rule. So I work with someone. So it's all about all other stuff, like how you feel, basically how you look in the mirror at other measurements rather than scale and stuff like that. And if you start training, and if your nutrition is where it needs to be, you automatically feel better, and there should be enough motivation to basically show you that, okay, like I'm on the right track. So it's just about keeping going, really. To be honest, it takes, to see results, it takes few months. So what's few months out of your life? You know what I mean? It's just sometimes you have to stick to it, be consistent, and once you start seeing results, it's gonna be better. That's what happened to me. That's where my discipline came from. I started seeing results, and I was like, okay, I want more of this, and it's just going.
That's awesome. And another thing I wanted to ask you as well. I see that on your Instagram you talked about when people start to eat foods, and then after, like say during the holiday season, they eating treats and stuff, and then they regret it after. For somebody that's struggling with that, is there any tips that you would give them that they can use and that they can implement in their daily life?
Um, in regards to treats, I'd say, and I always say it to my clients as well, I don't suggest, when someone's got a goal and they're like, okay, I'm gonna get to the gym and get healthy this year, and they start automatically like wiping off like sugar and everything from their diet. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really bad thing to do, because let's be honest, who doesn't like treats? Okay, like more about that lifestyle change, and you have to think long term and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
anyone can give up treats for a few months, but then you either end up binging on it or you're gonna be missing it from your life. So it's all about trying to find a way how to implement it into your diet and still
Mm-hmm.
get results. Like about like controlling the portions and stuff like that. So I personally have treats every single day, unless I'm
Mm-hmm.
prepping for a competition. That's just it. But if we're talking about lifestyle and you know, um, then definitely like I wouldn't suggest to drop anything out of the diet or any food group or anything, because that's not sustainable. So it's just about finding a way how to implement it into the diet. And if it happens that you got a bad day and you end up binging or something, then it's fine. Like you follow the track. Like as soon as you get back on it the day after,
Mm-hmm.
or you acknowledge that okay that happened, but I'm going back on track, then it's all good. Like it happens to everyone. It happens to me. It happens to my clients. We shouldn't be beating ourselves up for, oh, I had biscuit yesterday.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
fine, like it's all about building that healthy relationship with food as well. We shouldn't ever be feeling guilty for eating biscuits or eating chocolate or something, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and I try to coach my clients to get that, to build that healthy relationship with food, and knowing that it's okay to have few treats as long as your overall lifestyle and overall diet is balanced basically.
Gotcha. So how do you feel personally about like the different diet plans that's out there, like the vegan diets, the keto diets? Do you recommend any of those? Because I mean, to me, I feel like whatever that's trending right now, a lot of people just go with the flow and they just don't actually look at what's actually beneficial for them. So do you recommend any of those, or do you recommend that the clients really look at what's good for them and go based off that?
Yeah, so in regards all these diets, I'm not a big fan. I'll put it this way, because all these diets is something that you either need to give up. Like I said, yes, so like for example, keto, you don't eat carbs. Yeah, who doesn't like carbs? Like, why would I want to go and do it? I personally wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I never recommend any of these diets because I just think they're not sustainable. Like, um, for me and the way I teach my clients as well is all about flexible dieting. So it's all about creating that calorie deficit, but eating everything in moderation. I still
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. That's how I got myself in shape as well. I never got rid of, people say, you should give up bread and you should give up pasta and stuff like that. Like I still eat bread on a daily basis. Like it's not gonna do me
Mm-hmm.
anything, bad. It's just so it's more about the flexible dieting, like knowing what your calorie deficit should be, how much calories you should be consuming every day. That basically either PT or you can just Google it online, and there's plenty of
Mm-hmm.
stuff where you can count it. And then just I like to get my clients, and I personally do it as well. I track the food, so I track the calories, and I just work with that, and I just implement anything I want into my diet as long as I stay in calorie deficit. So that's what I promote really, that flexible dieting, because like that you can literally eat, you know, whatever you want. I want to say obviously not like all the time. You should be keeping it 80%, 20%. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of any of these frozen intermittent fasting, and especially when someone doesn't like let's say someone likes carbs and they're like, oh, I'm gonna do keto because that's gonna help me lose weight. Like if you don't, like if you get rid of something that you enjoy, you're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna sustain it. So if someone wants to do it, the first thing should be like to ask themselves like, okay, is that maintainable for me? Am I gonna actually enjoy what I'm doing? Because that applies to workouts as well. If you don't enjoy training and if you don't enjoy the diet, you're never gonna sustain it. Simple as that. So um, yeah, for me it's more about that flexible dieting and just eating everything in moderation and in right portion.
So there is way to keep the foods that you like, but also still lose weight at the same time. So you don't have to give up everything.
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely, yes. I'm the weekend, but yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So before I let you go, would you mind telling us what a typical day is like for you, and if you have any special morning routines that you go through?
So my typical day starts about 5:30 in the morning when I need to wake up to train clients.
Hmm.
I always um I personally wouldn't train that early because that wouldn't work for me. But I've got clients who like to train before work, so that's how I start my day. I've got about 3, 4 clients in the morning, so by 10 o'clock I'm done. Then I like to do my training because that's the best time for me to do it. Uh, and then when I come back, I basically do like online plans and everything for my online clients, and then from 4 p.m. onwards, I've got clients in the studio again until evening, and finishing my day with a group fitness class usually. Because I've got my own studio with online classes as well. So it's all about fitness. Like all days is fitness for me, but I love it. So it doesn't feel like a job.
That's awesome. No.
Yeah, I don't really have any like routines.
Hmm.
Um, I like to, when I get a time, I like to have at least like half an hour stretching every
Hmm.
day. Find that half an hour in my day just to stretch out. Some people like to do yoga or something like that. That helps me to, sort of relax as well and refocus, let's say, and then just carry on with my day. That's the only thing that I really do.
That's awesome. And also one more thing. What is something that you're most grateful for?
In general,
Yeah, in general.
I think I'm the most grateful for my health and ability to do whatever I want, really.
Mm.
Especially, when in fitness, like we don't really realize how lucky we are that we can train. Like there are a lot of people who can't or
Yeah, I'm not able to.
are unable exactly. So we always take this for granted and we're like, oh, I can't be bothered to train. And when I feel like this, oh, I can't be bothered to train or something, then I just think about people who can't train and I'm like, I'm actually lucky that I get to go and train. So my
Mm.
health is definitely something I'm most grateful for.
Yeah,
But that obviously that came through fitness as well, like the strength and health and everything. That's why I love fitness so much because it's just
no, that's
basic
awesome.
everything.
Like like I said, I'm glad I brought you on the show because you're something that's very passionate about what you do. And a lot of people they often bullshit or they try to just get over on people and give them false information, and not give them like the honest truth. And the fact that you specifically work with women, is something that I like as well because you specialize in that field. So if anybody that's listening to this would like to train with you or get in contact with you, would you mind giving them your contact information?
Yes, you can either reach me through my website, which is sassyfitness.co.uk. Sassy Fitness, like to be sassy. The name says it all. Or then on my Instagram, which is just my name, Henrieta Skupekova, where I basically got lots of content and on all social media, LinkedIn. But through the website is probably
The best way. All right, I'll definitely make sure to put the links, the website in the bio. But I appreciate you taking the time out today to talk to me and give us knowledgeable information.
Thank you. Thank
No
you so
problem. Have a great rest of your day.
much. Yeah, you too.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Q's Health and Wellness Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe or to leave us a review on iTunes or the listening platform of your choice. Also, please check us out at QuinnMitchellII.com, as well as find us on Instagram for more useful content and resources.